You're listening to Stellar Success, Leveling Up for Medical Pros with Dr. Tudor Francu. Join us as we explore how medical professionals can achieve stellar success in all areas of life. It's time to level up.
Hi, Rebecca. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks. Thanks for coming over.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Why complete care therapies for longevities and aging people? Why did you choose that?
Complete care strategies. I was an ER nurse for 20 years. And towards the end of my ER career, I was dabbling in lots of different things. I was doing some medical device education and working on the IV team and just trying to figure out what I wanted to do next. And I applied for a job with a care management company called Complete Care Strategies. And I fell in love immediately. It was everything that I wanted. For years, I had seen people come into the emergency room and not have any family. No one knew anything about them. We would call the assisted living or nursing home to find out, why they were coming in or what medications they were on. And the nurse that answered or that was in charge of that patient would say, I just met them today. We're short staffed. I don't really know. And we would kind of scramble to figure out what was going on with the patient. So now I get to be that advocate for the patient, their family, their person that they need to help kind of guide them through the system.
So walk me through a day.
Oh, every day is so different. Usually we start our day with a schedule and then an emergency comes up and we're taking somebody to the hospital or something else comes up. So, my care managers have a client list and they really schedule their clients when they need to see them. We take clients to doctor's appointments and advocate for them there to make sure that their family, if they have family, knows what's going on, or making appointments for follow-ups with MRI or second opinions. We go house hunting with clients whose, you know, children might be blind and are looking for a house to live in that might be appropriate for them. Sometimes we're setting up vacations for our clients who are quadriplegics and they want to go skiing or they want to go to Portugal or Dubai. So we do lots of different things for lots of different people. It's very client centered and very concierge in that aspect.
Yeah, that's a great concept. I don't think many people understand that, being in that kind of situation with a family member, most of the time what happens is that they do have, an aide at home to take care of the daily needs, right? But the life is so much more complex. And, to have a company like yours, it's probably, definitely a quality of life increase for them.
It's most
Um,
definitely quality of life. I mean, that's our whole goal is quality of life for the rest of your life.
right. So what do you think it means to be successful in this branch, in this niche you have?
I really feel like you need to understand your clients and sit with them throughout whatever they're going with. Sometimes people just need somebody to sit with them and listen or just sit and be silent. It's really being there for them and being an advocate for them. I mean, I call ourselves professional family members. We're not family, but we do everything a family member would do. And that's what that's my goal for our clients, to know that we're there for them no matter what.
Yeah. So what is the relationship you get into with the family, with the client itself and with their families? What kind of approach do you have in terms of like business relationships? You come in with your company and you offer a certain type of service for them. How does this dynamic goes?
So, I mean, obviously we have to have boundaries, right? I mean, we have to have boundaries and things like that. But when we are with that client, we are all encompassing with that client. We're not sitting in front of a computer, right? And typing in things. We don't take computers into our clients' homes. We don't bring computers or iPads with us when we're going to see them or going to the doctors with them. I might write down some notes when we're at the doctor's office or when I'm in the hospital, but I'm not sitting in front of my computer and typing. That's not my goal. So really being with them, listening to them, when we first meet our clients, I'm always asking them, what brings you joy? What do you not like? Because if you're in the hospital and you hate chocolate, I'm not going to bring you chocolate into the hospital, right? Or if certain things make you itch, I'm not going to bring you scented cream. So we're trying to really get to know our clients and kind of put them on, put a path together for them. That's going to make them happy because everybody's so different.
Yeah. So is it a matter of time spent with the client? How do you have a contract with them? Do you charge them with insurance? Is it a cash business model? How does it work?
Yeah, unfortunately, insurance does not cover us. Sometimes long-term care insurance will cover care managers or aging life care professionals. But we are a self-pay model. We do bill hourly. We break it up into 15-minute increments. And, that's how we start. Sometimes our clients need us for a very short period of time. They just want to find the best community to move to from home. Other times we've had clients for 20 plus years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. How can someone afford this type of service? I'm just curious of what is your marketing strategy in terms of like, business model? Like, what do you do to penetrate some markets or new markets or, referrals or reviews, stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's really a warm referral. We try to talk with lawyers and, financial advisors. I mean, most of our clients can afford us, right? I mean, that's part of how we're getting to them. But sometimes it's not our clients who can afford us. We do have clients who are on Medicaid, but their children may be paying for us,
Mhm.
or they might have a trust that is paying for special services. Sometimes we've even had government agencies or nonprofits reach out to us and ask us to work with different clients. So there are different options, sometimes that are out there.
Interesting.
Yeah. And
Um,
and I always do try to refer people who can't afford us to different agencies that do similar things like we do, but for free.
are those out there?
There are, I mean, they're not going to spend as much time as we do, but like the Jewish Federation has social workers that work with them and they work with clients directly. The Catholic, I think the Archdiocese has different programs. I've worked with aging care, life care managers in the Philadelphia Archdiocese, so I know that they have care managers also. Now they're not going to get, they're not going to get as much time as we can spend with clients, but they can get some time.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting. I'm trying to go back to your personal approach to this, and you're coming from a medical background. Is that necessary for someone to do your job right now?
I would say, the only people I hire are nurses, social workers, occupational therapists, anyone who's had a medical background. Yes, I mean, one of the big things that we do is advocating for our clients in the hospital and with doctors. And sometimes we're, discussing different medications or why are we on different things. I had one client recently, one of my care managers had a client recently who was in the ICU and had delirium, had been out of control for 24 hours prior to his hospitalization. I want to say he was hospitalized because he had a UTI and then had delirium. In 24 hours, he was not sleeping. They wanted to put him on hospice. My care manager went in, made one recommendation about a medication to take him off. And within 24 hours, he was up and eating again and not on hospice. And that was several months ago, and he's home and doing well right now. So sometimes it's just thinking outside of the box. I mean, I want at least 10 to 15 years experience in their particular field before they're working for me, just because I think you need to have that base of knowledge. I'm not sure all of the other aging life care professionals in the country think the same way. Everyone's practice is a little bit different. That is how my practice is run.
Very nice. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure, you deal with emergency situation also. And I wonder if you can give us an example of a successful intervention, I would say, in your field that you were part of.
Yeah. So I had a client on 2 days before Christmas this past year. We do also daily money management in one of the companies that I have, and that's somebody that, looks over someone's finances and pays their monthly bills. So we were doing daily money management for this client, and that was all. I received a phone call from his aunt saying that his guardian was hospitalized and he was intubated and not doing well, and they didn't know how he was going to progress. My client that we were doing daily money management for is special needs, and he cannot be home alone. He needs somebody to take care of him. He, has diabetes and needs 24-hour care. So we instituted 24-hour care right away. I had a nurse go out that evening and the next day to make sure he was getting his insulin, everything like that. I was there on Christmas to give him his insulin and check his sugars as we were educating the caregivers, to take this on also. And then his guardian passed away and then we became guardian of him, and he is still living in his own home. He's still thriving. He has wonderful caregivers. I still have nurses there all the time. So he is a success story because his life, even though he had a tragedy happen, he is still thriving and living his best life, and things didn't have to change for him. He didn't have to go into a home or anything like that.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think there's so many people out there um, who can be so grateful for your existence, for the idea of someone doing what you're doing. It's very tough for even for a family to have an elderly person that cannot take care of himself in the last few years and go through this pain. And like you said, it's a matter of quality of life. But I'm sure to be successful in your branch, you need to overcome failures too. And I wonder if you can give us an example of something that didn't really work out in your business or experience, and kind of, you learn from it and you move forward.
And move forward. Yes. I, I'm sure that there are plenty of failures that we have overcome. I mean, sometimes personalities don't match, right? And sometimes we've had clients that have, asked for our services and then thought that, you know, they weren't happy with our services. We weren't advocating enough, or whatever the case may be. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, to be honest with you, but
That's it.
I'm sure something
That's
will
a good
come to
thing.
me.
Yeah, it's interesting. I personally went through something very similar with my mother. And she was elderly, into late 80s and couldn't take care of herself. And it was so hard to find someone who can, this is in a different country, to find a business like yourself, like someone who can basically take over that person's life and at least manage it in a way that it's comfortable and it's balanced and it's not stressful, and it just provide that kind of quality of care, not necessarily medical but comfort wise. And I wish you could do something to kind of advertise yourself in many other states. How is that going? Are you aware of this type of industry being out there in multiple states?
Yeah, so we are part of the Aging Life Care Association. The Aging Life Care Association is how we get our accreditation to be aging life care managers. Years ago, I think in the 90s, it was the National Association of Geriatric Care Managers. And I think in the 90s is when they rebranded. They are the pinnacle, they're the top of everything that a care manager can be. That's how we have our ethics and our standards that we have to abide by, all of those things. So you can go on the Aging Life Care website, and at the top of the website in orange, it says find an aging life care manager. You just put in your zip code and it'll direct you to different aging life care managers in your area. There are different tiers. There's advanced professional, professional, associate, and it's just about how long they have been in the field and their degrees and things like that.
Hmm. Interesting.
Mhm.
Now, going back to yourself, how is it to go from a medical profession to being a business owner in
Um,
medicine?
Yeah, I think it took years, right? So I started working for the company 8 years ago, and I was a care manager for many years. And as I was working for the company, I fell in love with what I was doing. So I started organically growing the company for the two previous owners. And then in 2020, they asked me to become the executive director. And I, I was all in. I wanted to, be part of this and grow it. Um, and I was still working in the ER per diem, even through COVID until July of that year. But then it just became too much with running the company as we were growing and working in the ER. And I was ready to be done with bedside nursing. After 20 years, it was a lot, right? So, um, and then I took over the company 3 years ago, and it's been wonderful. Has it been stressful? Of course. The ER was stressful too. This is a totally different kind of stress. But I love what I do, and I know that I'm good at doing a great job for all of our clients. And I know that my care managers are amazing, and all my caregivers are amazing, and my daily money managers. And I've hired people to help me with the aspects that I don't understand. I've hired a CFO to go because that is not my strong suit. I am not a financial person. So I've tried to hire people to help me in the regions that would benefit my business. So we are successful.
That's great.
Yeah.
So give us a little bit of advice of what should someone in your field start this type of business.
What should they do? Look into the Aging Life Care Association. It's been one of the best things that I've done, or that the two previous owners did for the company. I'm currently the president of the Mid Atlantic chapter, and it's all care managers. It's amazing to bounce ideas off with people who are all across the country, and then just learn and explore and be open to any and everything. I learn something new every day. Everybody is so different. And don't bring your philosophies to your clients, right? You don't want to imprint that on them. I've had clients that have wanted to get chemo in their 90s. I may not think that that's appropriate, but if that's something that they want and they know all of the contraindications and they know everything that can happen, then I'm going to fight for them to get that also because it's their life. So just be open to everything.
Yeah, that's great. Rebecca, what do you think are the main three, I would say the three main qualities that a medical professional should have personally to be successful?
I think, let's see, compassion, obviously, and a work ethic is always really important. You need to show up and do the best job you can while you're there. And strong mind, because it can be very heartbreaking at times.
Yeah, you deal with people all the time,
Yeah.
and people that are sometimes not aware of what they're doing, right? They're in their last moments of life, maybe, or towards that line, and yeah, they basically rely on you for every single little thing.
Yeah, you can't take things personally. I mean, there are people out there that may say horrible things to you, but they don't also know what they're doing, especially in the throes of dementia or Alzheimer's. So it's just being open and, walk away if you need to for a few seconds and take a deep breath and
Yeah,
come back.
yeah, interesting. Okay, so let's see. What do you want to do with this business? What do you want to go? What's the plan?
I I don't really know. I love what I do right now. I mean, we've added on daily money management this past year, and we've expanded to a few different regions. We've expanded to all of Delaware. So we're still in our growth stage. I don't know what I want to do with it. I'm happy with what we're doing right now. And I have other ideas possibly for the future, but nothing that's, in the books right now. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm happy. And I just hope that more people learn about aging life care and care management and advocacy out there because all of my colleagues throughout the country do amazing work.
Yeah, that's amazing too. So if you would look back at yourself when you were young, with all that you know right now and the experience that you have and the wisdom, what kind of advice would you give to yourself?
I would tell myself that don't doubt yourself because I have doubted myself in the past. You can do anything. And even though I never thought entrepreneurship was something that was ever on the table for me, take every opportunity. Never say no.
Never say no.
Yeah.
I like that. How can people get in touch with you? Learn more about your business, maybe become a client?
Yeah, they can go to completecarestrategies.com or call us at 610-265-4300.
Awesome. Awesome. I wish more people would kind of look into this for their families. And, I'm sure everybody has someone that at some point in their life in the family needed this. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Are you a busy medical professional striving to excel in life and work? Stellar Success Podcast brings you the habits and insights of top leaders in medicine and beyond. Discover strategies for balance, growth, and fulfillment in every episode. Follow us on Instagram at Stellar Success Podcast for daily inspiration. Start your journey to success today. Subscribe to the YouTube channel now.
That's a wrap on Stellar Success, Leveling Up for Medical Pros with Dr. Tudor Francu. Interested in joining us? Go to stellarsuccesspodcast.com/guest to apply. Stay stellar and level up.